Alright, so we are doing a replay analysis of DogeTheShibe. DogeTheShibe? I think that's how you say it. Currently Plat 4. So reviewing this game would be pretty interesting. Against Aura, you probably want to go Dark Seal, which is probably what you get. Yep, that's good. Hide the fog.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
So you guys go for an invade here, which is interesting. Your team has very low invade potential, so essentially, if you guys were to have clashed it out here, you guys probably would have lost. Because Cassiopeia deals a lot of damage early. Wait, is that a Cass ADC? Okay. Cassiopeia would have dealt a lot of damage. Ahri can hit more people. Yasuo Q. Oh, there is Nami bubble. But I don't think Nami goes bubble first. I think she goes W first.
Minions have spawned.
So 29 AP. Little bit of magic resist. Okay, so it seems like you're using. Actually, I'm not sure 100% what you're using. I know you have some MR, maybe some AP in your blues. But we'll see how this lane goes. So against Ahri, you should really try your best to dodge Qs. So you see she's shoving, that's fine. It gives you an incentive to like shove back as well, but not too hard. If you just throw Q, yeah, you got all three. That's a little simple trick you can do, because all the minions kind of get low at the same time, so if one Q can clear it if you patient enough. Besiege, a little afraid. Does she have any MR? Yeah, she does have MR. But I think what you should be doing here is you should be trying to challenge her Q in a way, and letting her know that I can dodge it. You know what I mean? So like if you apply that kind of pressure on her, she's gonna feel like hesitant to throw out her skills at all. So when you get close to her, she's gonna like decide on her own, like, oh, should I throw the Q here? No, I think he might dodge or whatever. But if you just stay back and just like farm it out with your Q, you're not really showing dominance in your lane, or you're not showing that confidence you have against the champion that throws skill shots only. So I think level 1 is pretty easily it's like Katarina's best opportunity to like poke an enemy out. So like here, you know how like you're throwing minions here, imagine like you walked up here and just threatened that you're gonna hit her with your Q and then autoed it. You know, she would have to back. She can get zoned by her Q as well as, you know, her zoning you out with her Q. So keep that in mind. Like, you want to play with a bit of confidence and apply that pressure immediately, letting them know that, you know, you could fuck them up and that you can't hit your shit. You know what I mean? That confidence is a big thing. But it's good that you got the bounce out of, off Ahri there. Ooh, there you could have moved like to the side a little bit. Maybe make like a sharp turn. That would have been fine. But the thing is, like, you did more damage to her, so you won the trade out. So here it seems like you're trying to stay back and then set up a Q and then try to jump on her like that. Because if you stay back, you kind of give her the incentive to play safer. Oh no, you give her a feeling that she's safe, but she's actually not. But I honestly think you should be autoing more with your CS, because having your cooldowns up is a lot of pressure on its own. Well, she's out of mana now. But hold on, let me go back. So it's like, not here. She missed the cannon first of all. That was pretty sad. So here, like, you can kind of zone her out a little bit, you know. You could play up more front, and because she has to aim her shit, she's not guaranteed to hit anything. But if you walk up and try to like Q her, there's more pressure on her part, because first of all, she's trying not to get into range of your Q and not get poked for free. On top of that, if you do walk up to her, she has to aim her shit. You know what I mean? She has to actually aim her shit and, you know, want to hit it. So when you walk up, you want to kind of like, you can't play 2 back. If you're trying to give her some false sense of security and you're staying back, that's fine too. But it looks like you're not. It looks like you're just farming back, just from the way you've got those minions. So then, like, if you want to give her false sense of security, that's fine. But if there's a minion here, she's just gonna stay back. And these minions are getting low. You should be walking up here because she's trying to get this minion. So you should be walking up, just autoing it. But alright, you queued it, right? So now your Q isn't up for a bit. I believe you E here. Oh no, you don't. Okay, okay. That was before. Well, let's see your Q cooldown is up now, but the minion's about to die, so you wait for it to come up and then you throw your Q. See, this was a pretty bad decision for you to make. You should be using your skills to get like the CS that you can't really farm. You know what I mean? And then use auto attacks mainly to CS. That's probably the best thing you could do because you want your cooldowns up in order for you to apply that pressure that, you know, it's like when Ari uses her charm to CS a cannon. That's instant pressure off of you. So think about Q the same way. Even though Q isn't as important as a charm, you should still think of it that way. You know, knowing that, oh, I can Shumpo onto you anytime, or I can Q onto you anytime because I haven't used it yet. So keep that in mind. Your skills and when you don't use it is pretty precious. But you take a free charm here, but honestly, like, she's you could have probably eat in real quick, hit her with everything, and just jump right out. You probably wouldn't have died. You have 2 pot. I believe you just popped 1, so you would have been fine there, in my opinion. Actually, potentially she could have ignited, but she can only hit you with autos at that point. I think she already procced Thunderlords on you. Yeah, that's Thunderlords, right? Yeah. Okay, so you're still farming with your Q. I still feel like you shouldn't be too scared of Ari. Like, the way she's playing, she's also playing pretty scared. On top of that, she's So if she throws out any skill like this, she has to back. So, like, if you played more aggressive while she was then, okay, she's actually still here. But she's Like, if she threw out a Q and you happen to dodge it and you challenge it, right? And you miss, and she misses, she's in a really bad spot because she has no mana to trade with you. So you want to put her in that position. You want to go up to her and you want to, like, show her, oh, I can dodge your Q. I can dodge your abilities. And once she shoots out that Q and she, like, fucks up or whatever, you could jump on her right away. Like, alright, let's say even if you, like, jumped on her right there, right? Hold on, let me see. Okay, first of all, you used your Q to farm the minions, so you don't have Q right now. So now feels less pressure, and now she's walking up, right? Same concept from what I was talking about before. Okay, so you know you hit level 4 off that minion, okay. If you knew you hit level 4 off that minion, you probably should have went in and started trying to trade. Because, first of all your skills were up, and you have a level 2 Q. She only has 125 mana, and if you see her mana, it's like, she can only throw out like 2 spells. Charm and Q, more or less. And if you could dodge any of those, then you're fine. But even if you don't dodge it, if you place your daggers right and you get to Shumpo reset, you can just Shumpo right out. How many pots do you have? You have none. Yeah, I think you could have played a little bit more aggressive on her, for sure. Okay, so just farming right now. Kha'Zix decides to come, but Zach's over there. Now Ari has about 200 mana. Now she has her full rotation. Like, oh, okay, wait. 150. You should constantly be looking out for her mana. Constantly. But it's good that you didn't go in there because I think you had less minions than her and you would have tried to fight her in the wave. So it's a good thing that you did not go in there. Oh, you could go in on that. See, look how little damage she does. She zoom. Oh, Kha'Zix. You almost died there. What exactly happened? Okay, so you picked up the minion and then you started tanking cannon. That's what it was. Okay, so let's see how much money you have. You have 740. Let's see, maybe like, oh, you decided to get Negatron. I can see why you want Negatron because all of their team does magic damage, but Abyssal first isn't that good of an item. Or like go Negatron first against, you know, their team right now, where the only person that would probably be doing damage to you is Zac and Ahri, which yeah, it is magic resist, but you can totally outplay an Ahri. I think your Negatron is like too scared of a buy. I think you should be playing more aggressive in lane, and like I said before, like earlier, you definitely could have. But if you're playing with Negatron, you should be more incented to go into things like those. But one thing about Negatron is that against an Ahri, she does have true damage, so that's something you should keep in mind as well. So it's okay to like just not in this match. I think this match it's probably better to go Abyssal over Rallies, but you know, against an Ahri, like it's totally fine to go Rallies just because she does true damage, you know. And yeah, Cat has high base damage. She will do damage regardless, but you could be like completely shit stomping your lane too. You know what I mean? Like if you have that much damage, you could be like just all over her. I personally would have bought like a longsword and boots and just try to play it safe and know that I try to set myself to where I can go in safely without having to like, you know, take too much damage. What the fuck? Okay, Jhin, Ahri's dead. That's good for you. You should be like pressuring the shit out of mid lane. But it seems like you want to make a roam top. Okay, let's see if this works out. It doesn't work out. You should be this tower would have taken a lot of damage already. You should have just focused on mid, because that's your lane. First of all, when you look, let's look back. Jax, yeah, he is pretty far up ahead, pretty overextended, but Yasuo couldn't get that knock up, so that was unfortunate. But honestly, if you want to go for something that was more guaranteed, you shouldn't just how to say, more guaranteed means you staying in your lane and try to focus on shitting on this Ahri. And if you want to shit on this Ahri, you want to take her tower as fast as you can, you want to get more farm than her, you want to roam better than her, right? Well, the more guaranteed option is to just focus on your lane, especially early, unless the roam's guaranteed. The thing is, Jax is full health, and on top of that, he has flash. So it's a lot harder to get off a gank like that. Maybe if Yasuo actually hit the knockup, but if you should think about it this way, like if you don't rely on, you know, something that's not actually guaranteed, like Yasuo hitting his knockup, you could just be like, oh, maybe it's better off if I stay mid, because if Yasuo doesn't hit the knockup, then we can't kill him. So you should have just stayed mid, and you should have just kept up the farm. Let me see where Ahri is. Ahri's still dead. So you know what that could have gave you? That could have gave you some tower damage, because you would have just constantly autoed it. Where's Zac? Okay, Zac's over there, so he could have potentially defended it, but you could always shimpo out. You could have been hitting the tower, and you could have gotten the next wave. This wave. You'll be a whole wave ahead of Ahri. And that sounds so much better than you just going here and, you know, trying to roam. And, you know, trying to get something off, which isn't guaranteed. But you get some vision off, that's fine. The thing is, the wave is now over here. So, you gotta shove this as hard as you can. Use all of your abilities. EW. There you go. And then Ahri should be back. And now Ahri's gonna lose like one minion, but she still gets like decent amount. And on top of that, if you back right now, Ari's just gonna shove in the next wave, and you're gonna lose a wave. What you wanted to do is you wanted to shove that next wave in as fast as possible, so that the wave, you can back as fast as you can and come back to lane as fast as you can, and the wave would end up in the middle again. That might be what's gonna happen to you in Ari's favor. Oh, but you decide not to back. See, you still have Negatron, but you see Ari's trying to shove the wave. Okay, so what you want to do here is you want to shove in the wave as fast as possible. You're almost level 7 too. But see the next minion wave's coming in. Ari's back with... She has a Lost Chapter and an Amp Tome. So she's 98 AP to your 38. So she's a lot stronger than you right now, just because she got that back. So now you're just stuck with the Negatron and pots when you have about 900 gold that you could have spent it on by just being smart with when you want to back, or like being smart with like the fact that she'd be having an advantage if you didn't back. So you want to kind of match the mid laner as much as you can. If she backs, you want to back too, or like if she's dead or whatever, then you want to push your lead. You want to push like whatever you can, get as much as you can before you back, so that when you come back, she's also gonna be kind of reset. She's also coming back to lane, right? You're gonna be stronger just because you got that kill and you backed and bought items. So here, I think you should have found a time to back. It's still very early into the game. Just having a Negatron is not good for your early game, and if you have to back right now. Like, you have to back to match this Ari, right? What Ari can do is, if you end up backing, she can shove in the next wave, and she's just gonna get the extra wave over you. I don't know if you decide to back, you decide not to. But Ari has no magic resist, so you could have applied a lot of pressure on her. Because I think Katarina can outdamage Ari pretty hard, just because of the fact that Ari has to actually aim her shit. Ooh, she might go in here. Flash, and then auto. Nice. Okay, let me see what happened there exactly, because I think Ari misplayed that. So Ari got too close to your dagger, and then this was good on her. She flashed out, she ultied out. And then she what was it? She ultied into your dagger, which was weird. And then she started walking towards the dagger. If she didn't walk towards this dagger, if she kited you this way, you would have had to pick that up, and you would have no means of like hitting her at all. And she already used Ignite. So she did have that over you, but I think Ari misplayed this fight. Like, you probably shouldn't have died there. You probably shouldn't have gotten the kill there, honestly. Okay, so you have 1720. 1720. Let's see what you decide to get. I would get Sork Shoes here. You are getting Abyssal. With my money, I would have gotten Sork Shoes, and I mean, I would have built Gunblade. But because you're going to Abyssal, I would have gotten an Amp Tome. Because Sork Shoes is really good. First of all, it gives you the movement speed to dodge Ari's skills, which is what she has to. She has to hit her skills, or else she's useless. And if your incentive is to just shove the wave, then you can roam. You can just roam a lot easier. That's why I like building tier 2 boots early on Cat. See, there's nothing to really pressure around the map. It's good that you're shoving in. So I would do the same thing. Like, if Ari's shoving into me, then I would shove him back to her, as long as I don't take too much damage doing so. Okay, that's fine. She's pretty scared of you. She still has no magic resist, so you can get potentially aggressive on her. Like if you let's go back a little bit before this. Maybe over here, like instead of throwing your Q, you could have just farmed a little bit with your autos, and if she ever got too close to your Shupo, you could have EW'd. No Q, just EW and just see how it goes. And try to dodge your shit. And if you end up dodging your charm, then you throw your Q. Then you're like that's how you win trades. You use your EW to try to bait out anything, see what happens. And if you actually do get if you're put in a good position, then you should throw your Q to try to follow up, you know, her missing her skills or whatever. Because she still has no magic resist, and you came back with Fiendish and Amtome, you're pretty strong. Let's see, 97 AP to her 108. Yeah, you guys are pretty even. On top of that, you have a level over her. So you could have potentially played aggressive there. She didn't have ulti. I think she has ulti up now, though. Okay, no, it's coming up now. Very soon. But yeah, for now, like, you should just... If you're not looking to fight this already, then you should probably just look to shove in the wave and just roam and try to apply pressure around the map. But don't have any wards with you right now, so you're still shoving.
Welcome to the rice field, mother.
Throw another Q. All right, now once you shove in the wave, now anything else that's gonna happen in mid lane will happen when the minion waves come up. So you have this much time for the minion wave to walk all the way up to the middle of the minions for you to do something. So let's look at the map. You can potentially go bottom. Can't really go top unless you want to actually 1v1 the Jax. But I think bot is more guaranteed because you have help. There's no Yasuo. Yasuo's already dead. So here, potentially, you could have roamed bot. That's basically when you want to roam. You want to roam when you shove in, and that's why people shove in before they roam. Is because you did all you had to do in the mid lane. All you have to do is just pick up the minions. If you're not looking to kill the Ahri, just pick up the minions and wait for the next minion wave to come in, and then just farm that and repeat. But within this downtime, you can do something. Like, let's say you did go bot.
Welcome to the rice field,
Galio
motherfucker.
does have ulti up, I believe. So just keep that in mind. Like, instead of hovering up here, I would have hovered somewhere down here and just see if Cassiopeia and Galio would have like committed a little bit more to this push. Cause you hovering around means that like you can potentially like react fast enough to where like they're overextending. On top of that, Dragon's over here too, so Dragon's like bigger priority early. But yeah, because like it's platinum elo, people aren't like, they're a little bit more smarter and they don't overextend that as easily. So what you want to do is you just want to hover. You just want to hover and see if they decide to misstep. You don't always just go for a roam and just see how it works, because that's not how it works. I don't even do that in high elo. What I do is I hover around and just make sure that I can react if anything happens. So that's probably what you should have done. And you see how Negatron doesn't really do anything there because her Q does true damage. So you gotta be careful of return Q. Okay, so they did get Dragon. If you decided to hover... Oh. If you did decide to hover around bot side, you would have seen that Dragon happen. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, you fucked up there. Okay, one thing you should do. Small little tip. When the minion wave is walking up, don't throw your Q. Your Q is gonna just land like in a shitty spot. You want to wait for the wave to kind of clump up and then you throw your Q so you can kind of control like how the minions are gonna hit, or control how the where the dagger is gonna land, and just have it crowded around like the minions. That'll make it better for you. So you see, Negatron's really isn't really doing much for you. I think if you didn't build it, then you probably would have died few times, so I guess it's okay. But personally, I would build Gunblade and just try to not get hit by shit. That's my plan. Okay, so you are a level ahead, so you're fine with just farming, because you'll be ahead regardless. So you don't know where Ahri is, so you should just shove, and then look to roam bottom. You see bottom? Okay, I don't know where Ahri is. Where did Ahri go? Yeah, Ahri went bottom. Now she got a double kill. Alright, alright. Alright, like I said before. Alright, first of all, do you have a ward? You have a ward, so you should have warded around bot side. Second of all, like the moment you shove, you don't see Ahri, you shove in this wave. Don't just call Mia. Like, don't just call Mia. You have to understand what your enemy mid laner wants to do, and you gotta look at the position of your own teammates. So you shove in this wave, right? It's completely shoved. Alright, on this point, you should be deciding what you want to do. You can either keep pushing, or you can look at your side lanes and see what happens, or what's happening. So, top lane died, so your only option is to push mid and bot. Mid's missing. They're committing to bot, so you could assume Ahri is going bot. First of all, you should have probably warded earlier, just to see if Ahri wants to roam bot so you can like react. But here, there's enough information to where you can know Ahri's bot. See, you start pinging, but you didn't look at the bottom lane. When you look at bottom lane, you see how hard they're committing when they're low health? They're not just gonna commit here, like, with that much health. You know something's coming. First of all, Cassiopeia's pushing, Zack's still hovering around, and Ahri decides to go in here. Alright, see, that's stupid. You could have cleaned them all easy. Just the fact that they were low and they decided to push, that should have been incentive for you to go down. Because then you know they're tunneling on here and they're not really paying attention to you, whatever. Ahri actually lives this. And you get punished for not calling your not keeping track of your mid lane. So now your only job here is to just shove in the wave, and Ahri's back. Ahri's like super low, so you just want to apply that kind of pressure that you can. Ahri should be coming back now, so I believe you're gonna ward now. I would say it's a little too late. Let me see, what's your gold? Your gold is 1247. Nothing's happening in this map. Nothing. Bot is back, whatever. You should be backing too. You can get Abyssal, you can get an Amp Tome, you can decide to go Sork Shoes or whatever. You should be backing right now so that when Ahri comes back into lane, you're not at a disadvantage again. Okay, so you do back. Wait. Okay, so you decide to shove in this lane, and then you should go back. So now you have that little extra money. Okay, wait. Okay, so wait, hold on. I just want to talk about something. You're saying that if you did go bot, you would have died as well. But the thing is, you didn't need to just go in and try to clean up the fight. What you needed to do was be there for your team so that Ahri doesn't just run all over them. So like if Ahri is roaming down here, right? If you followed her and if you expected them to dive, you don't have to come here. You don't have to come here. You have to like walk over here safely, and Ahri was already there. So you know how low she got trying to dive? That dive was like a little sloppy on her part. She would have died if you were there, 100%. And you guys still had tower, so you just had to stay under tower. Even if they dive, you could have potentially killed like two, 3 people. But instead, they got 2 kills for free. Like, so it would have been better if you died for like a few more kills. You know what I mean? So I just want to throw that out there. Okay. You probably should have ulted there. As soon as Yasuo got that knockup, you should have ulted him. Yeah, that was weird. Hold on. Okay, so you... Yeah, you should have ulted right there. I think generally you might not have been able to kill him, but if you throw out Ignite and whatnot, Yasuo potentially could have been able to kill him. He still had Flash and everything, so you definitely... You don't really know until you get your damage out, but I think you should have... I think you should have just threw all your skills there. And on top of that, like, how much gold do you have? You have 1,500. Imagine you bought an Abyssal, Sword Shoes, or whatever. You probably would have had the money to kill him. If you recalled around here instead of walking your ass all the way up here, you could have backed and maybe walked your ass like through the lane. That could have been fine too. Already got a double bot. That's unfortunate. It's not really like something you're paying attention to, so I wouldn't consider it completely your fault. But Ari's just out roaming you right now. Okay, so you're still trying to kill this guy. He is dead. Okay, one thing you should know is... I don't know where Zach is. Where's Zach? Zach's bottom side. You actually got kind of lucky. Jax doesn't have any defensive stats, so you're fine. You can 100% kill him. But like kind of this whole thing is very predictable. Like, it looks like you do want to try to kill this Jax, and you know he could have easily pinged for help. So potentially you could have died here, just by just kind of overextending. But I think generally you took that chance and it worked out. So like that's just a risky play in my opinion. It may not seem risky to you, but that was a pretty risky play. So you decided to push this. Yasuo's taking care of mid lane. That's fine. Just gotta be careful for Zac. Yeah, you're gonna get it. Okay, pushing this wave might be a little dangerous. So yeah, good job. Oh. So now they're deciding to react. Should be able to juke this if you juke down. Okay, so you saw Zac here, right? You saw Zac here. You don't just walk straight back. That's where he's aiming. He's aiming exactly where you decide to walk. So you should have... First of all, there's a circle that appears. So you should have started walking downwards, and that would have been fine. What skills do you have? If you... Alright, another thing is like, if you... Actually, no, you don't have Shimpo up. One thing you could have done was like, if Zac's like trying to catch you, like cut you off from where you're trying to go, you could have moved backwards, thrown out your Q, maybe flash on that, and then try to Shimpo onto something else. That could have been something. But honestly, this was inevitable. I think you would have died regardless. But you should have known that like if you were pushed up like that they would respond. But I think you traded a death for tower, so that's fine. Like you could do that as long as you think it's worth it. So you get but you had a fuck ton of money. Wait, let me see that. You had 2,600. So I guess it was okay because you actually got shit out of this, but you know, potentially you could have like me personally, I don't like to make plays around top because I think it's too dangerous. I think the lane is just so isolated to where like if anything happens, your team can't respond immediately. So like this is just how I play. Me personally, I like to stay around bottom side because there's bot lane, there's jungler. Jungler can be top too, but honestly, junglers like to hover around bottom. I see them more around bottom if anything. But I would say more or less the bot lane is there. You don't have any of your team kind of with you, so you overextending there meant like you were gonna die. Like, you can just expect death at that point. But potentially, if you backed and you decided to hover and play around bot centric, you could have picked up like a bunch of kills just because like there's little skirmishes happening. I think you should leave the top laner to the top laner. That's just my opinion though. Alright, dies. So that was good. So let's see what you got. You got Abyssal and Spectre's Cowl, okay. One thing about Abyssals and Spectre's Cowl is that when you go Abyssal Spectre's Cowl, it's not as effective as Gunblade and Spirit Visage. I believe you go Spirit Visage. Gunblade Visage is better because Gunblade gives you a lot of damage on its own. Abyssal doesn't give you a lot of damage on its own. It increases the damage you already have. You know what I mean? That makes sense, right? So I'm expecting you to be tanky and like playing very aggressive because you have double MR items. Like so. Yeah, that's good. And then, oh, you could have kept going. You could have kept going, man. So eat W. And then W'd, like, I think the moment, like, you could have predicted this a little bit. So then, Cass overextends. She's squishy. What does she have? She has armor. So, and she just has health. So you could obviously kill her. Or she obviously can't kill you. So you decide to go in. The thing about this is you threw your Q pretty fast. You threw your Q like kind of early, but you're lucky that Cassiopeia was pathing downwards, because then the Q wouldn't have landed here. You Shunpo'd behind her, and if she like if she did anything else besides move backwards like this, she would have the dagger would have like landed somewhere weird. So I think you should eat W and wait for her to pick her path to run away to, and then you should throw your Q. But it luckily worked out here. And then you ulti, and then the moment you feel like you're gonna get the kill, you should like just think about just going on to the next person, or like just Wing. Like at this point, before she even died, you should be like, alright, Galio's low, I gotta E onto him right after she dies. So that's how you reset fast. You have to preemptively know what buttons you want to press and go in with before you actually get the reset. And that's how you know, me, Flyerbeck, or whatever, we have that kind of anticipation. And that's why we reset so fast. You know what I mean? So here you could have, like, even if you hit W, Nami also sped you up, and you would have gotten the auto attack slow, and it's just to support Galio. What does he have? He has Thornmail. He doesn't even have shit. He doesn't even have a Sight Stone. So you could have killed him, and probably just got out right after you, because you probably can't kill Zac. And on top of that, you're tanky. You built Abyssal, you built Visage, so you're pretty tanky. So don't be afraid to go in, especially early game, especially when you have these two items. Okay, so you decide to farm top. Just make sure that you go bottom ASAP. Jax, Jax is not around. Dragon's up in 2 seconds. So you doing this can potentially lead to a dragon for them. Oh, but Jax decides to go top. Damn, their team is all over the place. Oh god. Oh. Yasuo gets too aggressive. Okay, so you buy Visage. Next buy has to be Void Staff. Net play in melee. I don't even know how to do net play. Oh. Okay, so Galio's free kill. He does no damage to you. Okay, so that's a free dragon. Yasuo's dead. Decided to go top instead. Yeah, you could leave that to Kha'Zix. Jax decides to leave. Why let people to know our secrets, everyone will be go Katana now because it's not a secret. Because it's not a secret. Good cat players should just know this. They just don't know. You know what I mean? So let it shove in. Alright, that's good. Okay, so you decide to roam mid. Yeah, like when you shove in a lane like this, you should probably just look to stick with your team and see like what your team wants to do and just stick around them. So it kind of sucks that they're leaving you top with Jax because you're the strong one here. Actually, no, Jin's pretty fucking strong too. Okay, let me see if you could have played that a little better. Okay, so Jax uses stun, right? So what you should have done here. Okay, first of all, Wing was bad because he was obviously gonna kill these minions. So you already know that he was gonna be close enough for you to Shimpo because he was gonna stay here. So and then you threw your Q, and then you know it just kind of lands in a random direction. What you could have done here was you jump on someone and you W, and you jump on Jax, you W and you ulti, and then you see if he decides to stay or not. Obviously he can't kill you. You have too much MR and you have Ignite and he can't heal it off or anything, and you saw the Q damage, it does a lot, right? But you should have E, W, ulted, and then once Jax picks a spot to run away from, that's when you should have thrown your Q and then follow up. Here you did not need a Shimpo. He was already on top of you. Shimpo did what? Like 10 damage. You could have just ultied and kept your Shimpo. That would have been fine too. Because you know you do more damage when they're lower, right? With that mastery. So it's those little things. Like maybe here, like you could have like Shimpo autoed or whatever. But generally, yeah, it's because you use your W too early. But yeah, it's minor. It's minor. I would get Sork Shoes here, because movement speed on a cat is really good. Because you wanna always have the presence around your lane. Oh my god. Okay, I don't really care what's happening here. But Jin's strong. So because Jin is strong, you wanna try to stick around him as much as possible. You want Yasuo to be the one reacting to Jax, not you. You want Jax to be fighting the Yasuo, not you, because your job isn't to split against the Jax. Your job is to go around, apply pressure, and kill things. So, you know, Jin is the strong one, so you want your team to have the damage in order for you to clean up, right? Well, you should try your best to stick around, you know, the people that are strong on your team. So that way they have the damage for you to clean up. So that's what you want to do. You want to hover around. You want to hover around your strong teammates, and just kind of follow what they do. So you decided to go Void Staff. No, the Blasty one first into the Void Staff. That's fine. Ooh, you took a lot of damage there. Wonder why. I mean, Ari only. Oh, she has Ludens and. Oh, you got hit by the return key. That's why. Okay. Oh, Cass is dead. What the hell? Okay, wait. Okay, Yasuo gets charmed, so that gives you full incentive to go in on Ari, because Ari has no charm. Then you see Cassiopeia, so you decided to go in, yeah, that's fine. I don't think you needed to ulti here. I think Yasuo would have finished off the Ari anyway, because she got snared by Jin, I think. So you didn't need to ulti here. You should only ulti when you can get a good ulti off. If not, then you can. If you think your team's gonna pick up the kill anyway, you shouldn't blow like unnecessary skills. Q would have been fine here. I think she would have died regardless, and you would have set up another dagger. Potentially a dagger like right on top of Cassiopeia where she was standing, and then you could have ulted. But Cassiopeia like flashes in for this. Gets greedy. Let's see what happens next. Okay, nothing happens because of TP. Jax has no TP now. Okay, you should be fine. You're super tanky. Pick up the dagger. See, look at what happens when you're with your team. Isn't it glorious? Isn't it glorious just to group? You guys should just be shoving mid lane. Yeah, don't chase. Okay, so you guys decided to shove in, get the inhib. Shimp onto him. Okay, wait. Okay, so jumping on this Jax was good. Here, if you were a little more patient, first of all, he had his stun up. So you trying to walk to this dagger wasn't an option. You probably should have stuck around here and just Jax was already right. He was running for his life. He wasn't even thinking. He was just running for his life, and you just happened to place a dagger, you know, where it is. So you could have just waited for the dagger and then just Shimpo onto him right afterwards. But you decided to flash. Next person you should have jumped on was Galio, not Zac. But you jumped on Zac, and you should have queued Galio as well. Galio's squishy as fuck. What does he have? He has Redemption and Thornmail. But you get the kill on Galio, that's fine. And then here you should have jumped out to the minions. But I think you jumped to Zac. Yeah. You should have, like, the moment you got that reset, you should have W to run run faster and then get the shoot upon the minions. That would have been better. Yeah, 1850. I think you decided by voice staff straight up here. I wouldn't be surprised. Oh, so you're going Leandries. That's fine too. Honestly, I mean, me personally, I think the magic pen is good. I think the AP is good. I think the health is good, but I don't like the burn, the passive, which is what a lot of people buy it for. They don't have that much MR. They have MR on Cassiopeia. They're gonna get MR on Galio, and they have MR on Zac. So that was an interesting buy. Yeah, no, I mean, me personally, I don't agree with the Leandries. I think voice staff is still fine because people have scaling MR too. It's not just like, oh, if they don't have MR, they don't have any MR. No, there's tanks that get MR over time. You know what I mean? And you want the Ahri. You're really fucking tanky. You should be going on the Galio. Okay. And then you jump back in. And then maybe Cassiopeia. No. Okay, yeah, you ulted, but it got cancelled. Yeah, no, if you want magic pen, you should be going void. Like, if they're building MR or even a little bit of MR, void is the better answer than Leandries. Leandries is there for the burn. That's why you want Leandries, not for the pen. You want hunting guys for the pen. Leandries is a big investment for that passive. Your team gets fucked here. Like, seriously, if you're gonna build a tank item like Visage, you need Void Staff. Abyssal first item, I guess, works out in a way, but I think Gunblade's better. So Galio decides to chill around. Well, I just noticed Galio has fucking teleport. Look how little damage you do. Are they taking it? Yeah, they are. Oh my god. Okay, that was way too early. Baron was at what, half health? Baron was at half health and you went in. Not only did you E into all of them. No, not only did you go in at half health, you also eat into them. Maybe like queuing would be better. Like Q and then E or something, because you immediately put yourself in danger as soon as you jumped on top of Jax and Zac. I thought the burn would help against high HP and Galio shields. The thing is, champions like Katarina don't benefit off the burn because they're burst champions. It's like if Syndra built Liandry's for Zac. It's kind of useless because Syndra's the type of champ that just throws everything in there. It's like if LeBlanc decided to build Liandry's. You're like, you should put yourself in the same category. And another thing is, you should have bought tier 2 boots a long time ago. Tier 2 boots are just too good. Having movement speed is just too good. Okay, so you guys, they have Baron. Holy shit. They burned a lot of shit. This fight's not looking good. Okay, let me go back. Okay, so first of all, whatever you're doing here is doing nothing. What are you gonna do? Like, you're not applying any pressure. You're just kind of walking up, and what happened here was you ended up getting caught because you were overextended. You got hit by not necessarily caught, but you got poked out by the Ahri, and you took so much damage in the beginning. Like, it wasn't unnecessary. It was very unnecessary damage. Let's say you were just hovering in the back, right? And you know your team gets ulted. Obviously, you don't want to go on the Galio and the Zac, right? You threw out your Q. I don't know why. You don't want to set up. You don't want to set up on them. They're too tanky, especially because you don't have Void Staff. The moment Cassiopeia ults right here, she already ult. Wait, it was weird. She ulted like somewhere in the fight. I heard it. There, she ults right there. That's when you jump on the. That's when you jump on the Cassiopeia. Like, you wanna assess the fight. Ahri got low, so she's not gonna be in that fight. Jax is bottom, so all you really have to worry about is Galio ulti and Cassiopeia ulti. Cassiopeia ults nothing, so you jump on the Cass. But you took a lot of unnecessary damage early, and you used a lot of abilities to where, like, you had no opening to go in because your abilities weren't up. But you have all your abilities here, right? Cassiopeia already ulted. You should be going on the Cassiopeia. That's what Yasuo's trying to do. Yasuo knows he can go on the Cass because she has no ulti. That's what she does. But you're too tunneled on this. Cassiopeia would have died like almost instantly, in my opinion. Like, okay, she does have Abyssal, she does have Ceres, but it was the better choice. Top of that, Jax was just like splitting, so I don't know what the fuck he was doing. On top of that, you should be getting Stork Shoes. Like, at times like those, when you needed like gap close onto a backline, like Cassiopeia, you would have probably caught up to her a lot easier. Damn, this Cassiopeia is doing work though. But yeah, Just try your best to stick around the Jhin. Like, you being up there pretty much made you a target, and you just weren't healthy. You just weren't as healthy as you could have been in that fight. Like, Katarina still has that same playstyle because she's a reset champion. You want to wait out their CC and go in at the perfect time. If you could jump on their backline, go on their backline. If they're overextending for your backline, then you jump on the front line. That's how it works. Because in a case where if Cassiopeia was like too far to kind of like follow up on their front line, then you could jump on the back line and kill them before Cassiopeia can even follow up. You know what I mean? Yeah, I believe you're going. I think Sword Shoes would have been a lot more important than an Amptome here. You need to buy tier 2 boots. Can't stress that enough. Having that 15 pen is just a lot better. Okay, so yeah, you should be rotating around with enemy team because it looks like they're controlling the pace of the game. See anything happen here? So you should assume all their ultis are up. Okay, pretty tanky. Like the thing you can do here is you can just kind of apply pressure just by being there. You don't have to like necessarily throw Qs, but you can throw Qs whenever you can when you feel it's safe. But yeah, it's like this thing. It's like if they engage at all, Katarina can clean up. Have you ever had that feeling? It's like when if you decide to engage on the enemy team and it's not Katarina will kill everyone. Just keep that in mind. That just shows how much pressure Katarina has. But the thing is, you don't apply that pressure because you don't have any damage. You don't have Void. If you went Gunblade, Visage, Void, I think if you played a little bit safer and played like you were in a tank, I think you would have been completely fine. Because Yasuo went. No, Yasuo didn't really go tanky, but still pretty tanky. Okay, so we get a Jhin ulti. Should be throwing your Q on Galio to try to set up. Okay. Oh wow. Okay, so you guys got pummeled that fight. You remember when I said you should throw your Q to set up? Look. Okay, Jhin ults, right? That means a fight might break loose. Now let's assess this fight right now. Galio gets bubbled. And, you know, Galio's about to die, so their team wants to help out their Galio. So you should be thinking about that. Zac goes in, so that means their team wants to follow up. So when I said to set up, it's when their backline decides to walk up and follow up the tanks or the front line. So if let's say you threw your Q right here. Let's say you threw your Q right here. Like right about now. Right? And it lands somewhere around here. You just want to keep a good eye out on that because you know they want to walk up to it. You know they're trying to follow up the tanks. And you want to see you use your Q to set up and see if you can go in. That's the point of your Q in team fights. Right? Look at that. If your Q dagger was on the floor right here, you could have easily went in. Like that Shumpo that you did right here could have been a dagger and could have been an ulti. But you went in and you didn't really do anything. You just kind of sat there like for a really long time. If anything, you could have thrown your Q first and then done your combo, because then you would get instant burst off. If you E, W, Q, you have to wait for all your shit to like. You have to wait for all your daggers to drop, you know? And the only thing you'd be getting off at first is your ulti. But you just get CC to death here. Because your follow-up on Yasuo was poor and you didn't set up before the fight. So keep that in mind. Setting up on the tank is like something you should get the hang of, and like the reason why you set up on the tank is because when the tank initiates, you're pretty much cutting the path between the tank and the back line. And if they ever decide to like cross that line, which is your dagger, then you can go in. But not all the time though, you know, you gotta be smart about it. But you know what I'm saying generally. Okay, so let's see what you decide to buy here. Do you finally decide to buy boots? Okay, I believe you're trying to go for Void. But yeah, your mid inhib is gone. Their mid inhib is up. So what you want to do is you want to use these Dragon and Baron to try to bait a fight. And if you win that fight, you get a free inhib. So that's kind of what you want to do. You want to do something predictable, like so that the enemy can, so you know where the enemy wants to go exactly, if that makes sense. Because doing Dragon, you know, obviously it might get contested. So you should be looking for a Dragon play right here. Baron's up in 32. Okay, so because they're taking the initiative, the thing I was talking about the Dragon is if you wanted to take initiative for yourself. But because they're taking initiative, all you have to do is react. That's fine. So they decide to push top because inhib is down. So alright, let's see how this fight goes. Good combo. You could have done that last fight. That's you did exactly what you should have done in this fight that you should have done last fight. Okay, so you did get Void Staff. Look at how much more damage you put out. Isn't it great? Isn't Void Staff a great item? Isn't it better than Leandri's? I think it's better than Leandri's. So shit comes up. So you guys decide to do Baron. Dragon afterwards. It's good. Alright, you guys should back and just reset. I think you can just run it down mid and get a free inhib. I really hope you get boots here. My god. The boots never got level 2. Jesus. Well. So you guys decide to run it down mid. Let me see. If Yasuo is pressuring bottom, then you guys should just look to get this. Be careful of Ahri coming up, because I think Ahri was the one defending against the Yasuo. So make sure to ward bottom sides. If Yasuo is pressuring it enough and you guys don't think you guys can push this, you guys should go down and help out Yasuo. Yeah. Oh my, Yasuo, why? I personally think what you guys could have done was just control this bottom side of the map. And if you see two people defending, like, you guys can constantly just pressure these waves, right? If you see two people defending here, hard engage here. If you're like, if you see whatever, you basically, this is like the easiest way for you guys to get in because there's no tower. So you guys can easily could have gotten like a hard engage off, like Jhin ulti, whatever. But Yasuo decides to go top, and now you guys lose complete pressure. Like, you can see that, you know, you guys have to back. You guys can't do anything. So you guys, like, what Yasuo should have done is he should have kept splitting bot, and you guys should have kept pressuring mid, but okay. Whoa, 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 whoa. This is a good fight. Oh. Okay, so Yasuo is pushing. If you saw that Nami ult, dude, like, if Yasuo was there to ult off that, that would have been sick. Okay, so here's this pressuring, kill the Jax. Probably didn't need to ulti there. Oh my god, this Yasuo is just going fucking in. and you guys went off that. Yasuo did a fuck ton of work there, but honestly, like, that was the problem, was that they decided to hard engage here, and they didn't expect the disengage, the disengage that Nami can put out. Like, if Zac were to jump, Nami can just ulti, and you know, like, no one can really follow up Zac as hard either, especially if you guys are running away. So enemy fucked up there. They should have just like stayed within their thing and try to like catch them off instead of like hard engaging like that. You know what I mean? So you guys actually got kind of lucky. You guys actually got kind of lucky here that the enemy fucked up. So yeah. Okay. So let's see what I can talk about exactly. Laning phase. You can't be so scared of your enemy laner, especially if they're just a heavy skill shot champ. Like Ahri, Syndra, even Xerath. Like, you gotta be confident in your ability to dodge these skills, because if you're not and you just assume they're gonna hit everything, then you're gonna lose lane, because they're gonna end up hitting everything. You're putting yourself in a position where you're gonna get hit, you know. So what you should be doing is like, it's like when you verse a Zed level 1, you wanna like, you don't assume that Zed's gonna hit every Q. You try to like weave in and out of the minions and try to dodge it. Same concept with Ahri. Same concept with every other champ. You just gotta do it differently. Because they're not the same kind of skill shots, you know. So yeah, level 1 or early lane phase, definitely play more aggressive. Item build. Oh no. Another thing about the early laning phase is use your autos more to farm, and use your Qs to do something important. Like, it's okay if you're being super zoned out. Let's say you're being super zoned out by the enemy laner or whatever, and you can only farm with your Q, then farm with your Q. Because it's important, because that's the only way you can get farm. If Ahri's just sitting back, trying to farm her minions, and you're trying to farm your minions, and you throw your Q, that's super unnecessary. Super unnecessary. You could walk up, auto, save your Q for something important. If the cannon's getting low and you want to get it, throw your Q. That's fine too. Just don't throw it on the random minions, because then you'll have 8 seconds of downtime that you could have potentially done something and pressure Ahri with. Item builds. Abyssal first, I guess, is okay. But I think you played a little too scared. And Gunblade, I personally think Gunblade's better. And against an Ahri who's all skill shots, your defensive item, it's not a defensive item, but an item that you can use to counter Ahri is Stork Shoes. That's fine too, because you have a lot of movement speed. She can't hit you if you know how to dodge, if you know how to maneuver right. So you could have done that potentially instead. Negatron didn't really help you, because when you got hit by the Qs, she hit you with the true damage, and you end up taking a shit ton of damage anyway. So Negatron isn't always good against Ahri, so just keep that in mind. Your combos could have done a little work, but your combos generally weren't that bad. I think there's times where like you could have done it better, but you shimpo too late, and you ended up Wing first. Like, you gotta polish those out. Know that the enemy, like, you don't rush yourself. Know when that Jax was up there, he was guaranteed gonna stay because he wanted the rest of the minions. So don't rush yourself when you do these kind of things. So just patiently go E, and the moment you see your E animation, you W and you ult. You don't have to rush things. Another thing is applying pressure mid lane. You have to make sure you're applying that constant pressure, and there's times where the minion waves are coming. So like, the sooner you push the wave, the later the minions will come. So you have that whole downtime to where you can do whatever you want till the minions kind of come back into mid lane. If you're not looking to kill Ahri, that's what you should be doing. You should be constantly, like, whoever shoves in better, like, basically has the more pressure. And there were times where like Ari was kind of letting you shove in, and you have to use that time to like kind of see what you can do. That time when Ari was roaming bot, you could have just assumed something was gonna happen bottom because there was so much. Those low health people bottom. Okay, that instantly just strike a light bulb in your head. Like, oh, I can pick up kills. And if you see their body language and you see their movements, and if you see they're like walking up trying to push the minions, that means they want to dive. So that's when you should have gone down. You should have seen that coming. You should have taken a better look. You should have warded bottom side. Always use your wards when it's up. When it's at 2 trinkets, it's pointless to keep it. So, or even if you're holding 1 trinket and none of your mid lane is warded, around or whatever, you should just shove in the lane and ward it. You know, or even like before the minions come, whatever. The moment you enter lane, you can ward in and come back. You know, whatever. Control wards work too because they stay there for as long as they don't catch it. So buying a control ward there would have been fine too. You know, you would have spotted Ari if they didn't kill it. So yeah, there's that. Item build. Yeah, you already know this, but Leandry's is not a magic pen item that you should be getting when they're building MR or when you know they're gonna inevitably build it. Leandry's is not a good alternative to Void Staff. Void Staff does percentage. Was it 35% magic pen compared to a flat 15? They don't even compare to each other. Like, you know that some champs like they have scaling MR. Even Kat has scaling MR. She scales like, you know, throughout the game, and she progressively gets MR over time. A lot of other champs are like that too. They get, believe it or not, some champs even get more than 15. Actually, no, maybe that's too much. But, you know, one single Negatron or one single no magic can mitigate completely Haunting Guys. So you want Void Staff. Especially if you're building Spear Visage. Especially if you're building a tank item, you need to go Void Staff. That makes your damage more consistent. Yeah, you should have bought tier 2 boots a long time ago. Tier 2 boots are good for roaming, just getting gap closing, like all that stuff. So prioritize Sork shoes, maybe like second, third item, if anything. I sometimes even do it like first, you know. So prioritize Sork shoes. I liked how you built here. I liked the heavy MR that you threw in because all their damages are AP. So that was smart on your part. I guess that's kind of it. Work on your laning phase. Work on applying the pressure mid lane and knowing how to do that. Polish your combos a bit. Don't that last team fight, that second to last team fight, when you could have used your Q to set up on the tank so that the backline walks up, especially in a narrow lane like this. Like if the lane's like narrow and the alright, let's see right here. If the lane is narrow and the tanks are walking up, right? The only place that the enemy can go is just up and down, you know? And if the tanks engage, then they have to walk up. So you gotta see like the position of them. When Gallia ulted, they want to follow up and try to kill whoever he ults. So you Q to try to like set up a dagger where the backline's gonna be, and you just go in. And the fact that Yasuo got that three-man knockup into the ulti meant if that dagger was there, everyone would have died before Cassiopeia ulted you, you know? So yeah, the late game team fighting does need a little, like, I think you should use your top fight here, that very last fight, as a reference to, you know, how you should be playing fights, because that fight was played pretty well. You threw your Q, it landed in the middle of them, and then you ulted. Same concept. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope that was a lot of help to you. This is a Plat game, so the information is going to be different from the other games that I've replay and analyzed like the silver games, the gold games, and bronze games. So hope you learned something. And yeah, good game, good game.